हेलो फ्रेंड्स। अभी जो इंडिया की टीम सेलेक्ट हुई है इंग्लैंड टूर के लिए, जिसमें इन लोग वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप्स ऑफ क्रिकेट भी खेलना है फाइनल न्यूजीलैंड से, उसमें एक बड़ा ही सरप्राइजिंग इंक्लूजन है जिसका नाम हमने भी नहीं सुना था। अर्जन नगवसवाला। तो इसके बारे में थोड़ा रिसर्च किया गया, भाई ये है कौन। तो पता चला कि ये ही इज़ अ पारसी क्रिकेटर born इन सूरत. ही प्लेस फॉर गुजरात and he's a left arm pace bowler and he idolizes जहीर खान. और इसका एक्शन और बॉलिंग बहुत जहीर खान से बहुत मिलता जुलता है। अर्जन नगवसवाला, इसके बारे में थोड़ा पता करते करते एक, बिकॉज ही इज़ अ पारसी क्रिकेटर, तो एक क्यूरियोसिटी हुई कि पारसी क्रिकेट हिस्ट्री क्या है इंडिया में और हाउ मनी पारसी क्रिकेटर्स हैव प्लेड फॉर इंडिया। तो 1877 में एक्चुअली इंडिया में जो क्रिकेट स्टार्ट हुआ उसमें पारसीज का बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन है, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली क्रिकेट केम टू इंडिया बाय द ब्रिटिश ब्रॉट इट टू इंडिया। तो यूरोपियन वर्सेस पारसीज मैच होता था, विच वाज कॉल्ड बॉम्बे जिमखाना, जो यूरोपियन की टीम थी, और पारसीज वेयर द ज़ोरास्ट्रियन जिमखाना। ये दोनों में मैच होना शुरू हुआ 1877 में। एंड दिस मैच वाज इवेंचुअली कॉल्ड द प्रेसिडेंसी मैच, और ये हर साल एनुअल फिक्सचर हो गया ये, और काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग अच्छा मैचेस होता था। तो एंड लेटर ऑन इट बिकेम फर्स्ट क्लास, दीज मैचेस बिकेम फर्स्ट क्लास मैचेस। और बाद में इसमें हिंदूज को ऐड किया गया, सो यूरोपियन, Parsis, and then Hindus were added, so it was called then the triangulars. And then the Muslims were added, and then it was called the quadrangulars, and then there was a team called the rest of India. So वो पांच team हो गए थे, then it was called pentangulars. So pentangulars were the, uh, the the preceding matches to the Ranji Trophy. तो पारसीज का 7 से रोल है, तो क्रिकेट का में बहुत मेजर रोल है उनका। और आपको पता ही है कि Parsis have made a major contribution to industry in India, like the Tatas, the Vadias, the Godrej, and so many others. They have a great contribution there, and in the theater and movies and so many things, so many areas. Obviously, over a period of time, उनका population कम हो गया है, तो their contribution doesn't seem so obvious in India. So, who are the Parsi cricketers who have played for India? तो उसकी लिस्ट हमने निकाली है। तो काफ़ी इसमें से ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने एक दो मैचेस खेला है, तो उतना फेमस नहीं है। ओके, सो द फर्स्ट पारसी to play for India in the very first test match in 1932-33 against England was Firoz Idulji Palia. ये फिरोज इडुलजी पालिया साहब जो थे, फिरोज पालिया, ही वाज अ लेफ्ट आर्म बैट्समैन, लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर। तो इन्होंने इंडिया का फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच खेला 1932 में लॉर्ड्स में। एंड उसके बाद he played only two tests, scoring 29 runs and going wicketless. But his first class career is quite good. He played exactly 100 matches and scored 4,500 runs and took 208 wickets. So first class, he was a very good first class cricketer. Now the next one who also played in the first test match, इंडिया का फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच था 1932 में, his name was सुराबजी हरमोसजी कोला। तो सुराबजी कोला साहब जो है, uh, he he had a reputation for playing some very big shots, and he was part of the first test, as I said. And he scored. इन्होंने भी दो ही मैच खेला and he scored 69 runs at 17 average. But he played 75 first class matches and good first class career. But test match दो ही खेला। रुस्तमजी जमशेदजी, he is the oldest Indian debutant of all time. He played his first test match at 41 years of age against England and Mumbai in 1933. And he took 3 for 137. And I think that was the only match he played. And but he played some 29 first class matches with a very good bowling average of 22. खुर्शेद रुस्तम जी मेहर होम जी, ये थर्ड थे। तो मेहर होम जी का ये डिस्टिंक्शन है कि ही वाज नेवर बीन डिसमिस्ड एवर इन टेस्ट क्रिकेट, बट देन ही प्लेड ओनली वन इनिंग्स एंड ही डिड नॉट स्कोर एनी रन्स। तो ऐसा कोई खास बात नहीं है इसमें। एंड He played only one test also against England in 1936. So nothing great about it, but first class, 30 first class matches. So now the first major Parsi cricketer who made a mark was Rusi Modi, Rustamji Shahryar Modi. तो रूसी मोदी साहब जो है इन्होंने सिर्फ 10 टेस्ट मैचेस खेला, मेकिंग हिज डेब्यू इन 1946. बट in these 10 test matches, he scored 736 runs at an average of 46. And in first class cricket, he has absolutely great, you know, record 105 first class matches, most of them for Bombay. And he scored 7,500 runs at an average of 53. And he's the first man to ever score 5 Ranji Trophy centuries in a row. So he was a very fine, distinguished, batsman. And इनका जो and he's the first man also to score 1,000 runs in a Ranji season, and this record stood for 44 years. So you can consider him to be the first really a very good player, Parsi player in Indian cricket. And then we have Jamshed Khudadad Irani, Jamshed Jenny Irani, uh, wicket keeper for India. So he toured Australia in 1947 and played 2 test matches. And first class career only 22 matches. So again, not a very distinguished record. Next is Keki Khurshedji Tarapur, Keki Tarapur. तो केकी तारापुर के नाम का एक और there has been a coach as well who actually groomed players like Kirmani, Anil Kumble, and Rahul Dravid. So these are two different people. Please not to be confused with Keki Tarapur, the coach. So Keki Tarapur, this player, played a single test match in 1948 against West Indies, and फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में भी ज़्यादा नहीं है, 40 मैचेस ही प्लेड. तो अगेन नॉट वेरी एक दो ऐसा चल रहा है, एक्सेप्ट फॉर रूसी मोदी हु प्लेड 10 टेस्ट मैचेस फॉर इंडिया. नाउ वी कम टू द ट्रूली फर्स्ट ग्रेट पारसी क्रिकेटर फॉर इंडिया, एंड दैट इज पहलान रतनजी उमरीगर, पॉली उमरीगर, पॉपुलरली नोन एज पॉली काका. So Poli Umrigar, at one time he held the record of having the most runs for India. So he played in 59 test matches, making his debut in 1948 and played till 1962. So Poli Umrigar was at his time the number one Indian player of his time. And in 59 test matches, he scored 3,600 runs at an average of 42, and also took 35 wickets. And his 12 centuries were the most at that time for any Indian batsman. So, and he led India also with distinction. So, Poli Umrigar, a first class record भी बहुत ज़बरदस्त है. 243 matches, 16,000 runs at an average of 52, and also took 325 wickets. So, Poli Umrigar, Poli Kaka was a great player of his time. Now, next again, a major player was Nariman Jamshedji Contractor, Nari Contractor. So, Nari Contractor is now famous as the man who was hit on the head by a Charlie Griffith bouncer in 1962, and he almost died because of that injury to his head. And उनको blood दिया था West Indies captain Sir Frank Worrell ne, and his life was saved, but he never played another test match after that. But he did play first class matches after that. So he led India with distinction as well, and he played in 31 test matches, 1,600 runs at 31, and a very good first class record as well. And he became the Indian captain at only 26, Nari Contractor. But his career was cut short by this, unfortunate injury to his head. Next is Rusi Surti, Framrose Surti. So Rusi Surti was an all-rounder, left-arm batsman and left-arm bowler. So he's also known as the poor man's Gary Sobers, because he could bat at different positions. He could bowl pace, he could bowl spin. He was a brilliant fielder also. Obviously, not to Sobers' level, but काफ़ी He made his debut against Pakistan in 1960, opening the bowling in either innings but going wicketless. And he played 25 Test matches for India, 26 Test matches for India, which 1200 runs at 28 and 42 wickets at 46. So, but first class career is quite good. 160 matches. Rusi Surti, good all rounder. Then, along with Polly Umrigar, perhaps the second greatest, Parsi cricketer and the last to have played a test match for India, Farokh Manekshaw Engineer. Farokh Engineer. So Farokh Engineer, as you know, is one of the uh, a flamboyant wicketkeeper batsman, or he was a dashing batsman opener. और एक innings में he once scored 94 runs before lunch against the likes of Charlie Griffith, Wesley Hall, Lance Gibbs, and Gary Sobers. And he played with distinction for India in I think 46 test matches as a wicketkeeper batsman, and also had a long career in county cricket as well. I think for Lancashire. Yes. So he has, and plus a very flamboyant and a very interesting personality, Farokh Engineer. Now, that was the male players, but there is a female also who is one of Indian cricket greats, Diana Edulji. So, Diana Edulji is perhaps the finest cricketer, woman cricketer to have India has produced. Obviously, अब तो बहुत सी और आ गई हैं. तो, but she played 20 tests, scoring 404 runs and taking 63 wickets. So, Diana Edulji again. A great name in Indian cricket. So Parsis, the last Parsi to play for India was the male player was Farokh Engineer, who retired I think in 1976, I guess. Farokh Engineer retired. तो एक लंबा गैप है जब पारसी कोई क्रिकेटर इंडिया से खेला नहीं. And I hope Arzan Nagwaswalla plays for India to prolong this great tradition of Parsi cricket in India. ओके. अगर आपको मेरा ब्लॉग्स पसंद आ रहा है तो प्लीज़ उसको सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए और शेयर करिए. थैंक्स अ लॉट. बाय.